It's 7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Time to wakey wakey and time for bakey.
Time to wakey wakey and time for wakey.
Get ready for your host with more.
Get ready for your host with more.
Mr. Brian Brown.
Mr. Brian Brown.
It's 7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Que la roja bichuela y guandule no viene ligado igualito que yuca. Ese pelo que tiene tan lindo, no venga a pensar que eso es una peluca. Tiene cotorra perico, yo tengo cotorra, tú tienes la cuca. Está claro en el ring, en el piso yo quien
No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de...
And boom, we are live this morning. How's everyone doing? Wakey, wakey. Time for bakey, guys. That is correct. It is 7:10 a.m. and this is the hottest podcast at 7:10 a.m. on thedailydank.com. That is correct. You won't find nothing better. All right, guys. How's everyone doing on this True Crime Thursday, guys? We're getting into some good ones today. Talk about some true crimes. We are talking the worst movies of the 90s. Movies that shouldn't have been, that should be illegal. That way they made these movies, guys. These movies are so bad. And Hulk Hogan does make an appearance. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be a horrible 90s movie list without a Hulk Hogan appearance. All right, good morning, guys. We got Chantel in the house this morning. Good morning. Lonnie, good morning. Back to retro. Awesome. Actually, all right, guys. So today we're going to do the worst 90s movies of all time. And there's still time. There's still 2 days for you guys to jump on over to the Mod Squad on the Back to Retro review. It's one of his channels. Boy, they have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Him and a few other mods do a great channel over there. But we have the last 2 days of the March Madness 90s comedy tournament. These are good movies. These are the movies that you want to see, that you want to remember. These are the best of the best. So jump on over there, give that video some love. 2 of them, guys. 2 videos, some love, and see who wins the March Madness comedy tournament. We're going to get into the worst. Over there, you get into the best, guys. That is correct. So make sure you check him out. Awesome channel, awesome guy. That whole crew over there is just amazing. A lot of cool stuff they got going on. They're expanded out. They're getting big over there, guys. So you want to check them out. All right, Rosie Key. Good morning. Good morning. Lonnie's in the house. Teresa Deller. Oh, Nova Mike in the house. For some reason the chat's not working. The chat on the screen. I don't know why. Tim's in the house. Honey Nut Heroine, how you doing? Charlie, how you doing, buddy? I need that song as my alarm. Matt Workman, how you doing? Oh man. Oh. Yeah, we were talking about you, Matt Workman, about working out while you're high, man. Again, if anyone knows, probably be you on that. Great show. Yeah, any input, man, you have. Do you use it for recovery? Do you use it to focus? There was a lot of different stuff we covered. If you guys don't know what we we just dropped the first gamer show on the Mod Squad last night too. I have to go check that out. Yeah, they're covering all pop culture over there, man. Everything you could even think of. If you don't know what we're talking about, guys, we had a great show yesterday. It was working out while high, guys. Pretty simple. Does it help you? Does it help you recover? We did the science behind it, and I like it, man. It's good for recovery. It's good for inflammation, which is huge. It's good to get you focused. If you're a music person and you love to listen to music when you're high, why not, blaze one up, throw on your headphones, hit that freaking cardio, get in the zone. It's like 45 minutes. You don't even know it because you're jamming out to, I was trying to think of something silly, but I could, jamming out the Barbie girl. I don't know. That's the best I could come up with. And you just kind of forget about it's good for everything. Let's be honest. That is my weed guy when I lived in California. Him and his brother always got high before lifting. You know what? For some reason, Lonnie, I just picture Hans and Franz coming to your house. Oh, we sell this little man weed. Oh, you know, muscle man, Lonnie. Oh, you need to get high with us and work out. Uh, that's what I picture, Lon. That's how I picture your life. Oh man, guys, we got a good one. Let me scooch boogie on this here real quick. All right, guys, we got. I don't know if I see if I got production value here. I don't think I arrested it. I don't think I erased it. Arrested it. What am I doing here? I did erase it yesterday, darn it. All right, guys, but I got this one. Did you know today in history? Bum, bum, bum. This is actually a pretty good one. I'm actually learning a lot from these todays in history. All right, guys. Did you know today in history, in 1867, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million? At the time, many Americans thought the purchase was a waste of money and dubbed the territory Seward's Folly after Secretary of State William H. Seward, um, who negotiated the deal. Well, let's be honest, that kind of worked out in our benefit, right? The oil, the resources, I mean, just everything in general, that kind of worked out in our favor. And man, you can't even buy a freaking house. You can't even buy a fancy house for 7.2 million these days. All right, 1981. Ronald Reagan is shot and wounded by John Hinckley Jr. outside of Washington, D.C. hotel. The president was hospitalized but made a full recovery when Hinckley was found not guilty by reasons of insanity and was committed to an insane asylum. I totally remember this. I remember as a young kid, I had a little TV in my room and having it on the news and not really understanding what was going on. That was a crazy day. All right, in 2002, guys, Queen Elizabeth II officially opens up the Commonwealth Games in Manchester, England. The games featured over 5,000 athletes from 72 nations and territories competing in 14 sports. And in 2010, this is a big one, guys. The first iPad is released by Apple. The device became a huge success quickly, selling over 300 million units in 2021. By 2021, and revolutionizing the way people consume media and use technology on the go. Yeah, I remember when the iPads came out thinking, what's the deal? It's just like a giant phone. Like it's the same thing. What use could you have of this? And of course, I was wrong. British in 2019, British MPs hold a series of invocating votes in an attempt to break the Brexit deadlock. However, none of the proposed options for leaving the Europe Union gain majority and the political impasse continues. Yeah, so we all know the Brexit thing did end up happening, and they're still trying to figure it out. They don't have a clue. So overall, guys, March 30th has been a significant day in history for a variety of reasons, from major political and economical events to groundbreaking technology innovations. So yeah, man, this day in history, it was a good one. It was a good one. Man, I don't like that this chat's not showing. Let's see if I can get that going again. All right, try closing the chat layer and opening it back up. Oh, back to retro. I just did. Right. I did it right before I read that. The best way they made a bong out of 32-ounce highlight bottle. Nice. Smart move, USA. William C. Word. Amazing if we only bought stock. Oh, an Apple? For sure. That was yeah, that's a big one. I remember being like, "Oh man, the iPad. What are they? They're trying to milk us. They're trying to milk us." Oh, that was my big um mistake. And now, I own a few of them and they're great. They're great to watch movies on. They're great to have a bigger screen to work on. Who knew that these apps and all that? Remember when that was like a brand new thing? iPhone came out and they're like, you have an app for that. And you're like, an app? Like, what the hell is an app? Um, and then it was like, I remember like with the measuring tape one. There was all sorts of different ones. Um, yeah, just crazy how freaking advanced it's become. And now you couldn't even have a phone without an app on it. And this was just what, 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. Don't want to date myself on the age, but yeah, um, man, crazy. And Alaska, $7 million. Who wouldn't buy that if they only knew, guys? All right, today we are looking at the worst movies from the '90s. We got some, like I said, Hulk Hogan and Shaq both make appearances in this, guys. I'm not liking the chat not being on. All right. All right. Hey, someone throw a chat in there real quick. Someone give a what's up or something in the chat room so I know. Oh, there you go. Kazam. There you go. There you go. Still not working though. Huh. It happens sometimes. All right. But let's get into this, guys. I'll have to jump back. I have to go old school on you. All right. So up first, we got Inspector Gadget. Who remembers Inspector Gadget? Um, like the show was great. The show was awesome. Um, I couldn't. I mean, the cartoon was amazing. I remember it was groundbreaking. I remember that was the main one. Everyone wanted to get home from school and watch Inspector Gadget. That was the greatest cartoon, man, of that time, of those years. Everyone loved Inspector Gadget. The movie, not so much. I'm not a fan of Matthew Broderick. And I know people are going to be like, oh, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Great movie. Ferris Bueller is awesome. Love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Don't really like much after that. From his, he just seems a little stale to me. A little theater, I guess would be the word. His acting is very theaterish, over the top, and I don't really. That's not really my cup of tea. So I mean, yeah, this movie was a bomb. Yeah, I after it came out, I didn't even hear nothing about it really. Yeah, Double Dragon. Is that a young Melissa Milano in there? And oh, who? What's his name? Scott Wolf. Is that his name? Oh my God, I forgot they were even in this movie. Shaq still better not be on this. uh, who knew that Double Dragon had some stars in it? And the guy on the left is somebody too. Mark Discassos, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Like I recognize his face, but Alyssa Milano, who knew? For some reason, the movie version of this classic arcade beat 'em up game complicated the simple premise: two brothers fighting to rescue a girl from a bunch of gangsters. Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, how do you blow that? How do you how do you mess that one up? Um, yeah. But good stars, man. I mean, whoever casted that had an eye. That was when Alyssa Milano was firing on all cylinders, right? When she was just coming off of Who's the Boss. Scott Wolf was getting ready. Either was he on just no, not just the 10 of us. That's a different show. Been talking a lot of just the 10 of us lately. What is it? Party of Five. Yeah. So that was the Party of Five. Man, had the stars. It had the video game lore. I guess just got messed up during the filmmaking process. All right, up next. A Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, guys. As crummy as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers might have been, I'm killing some childhoods right here. You know what, guys? It was great at the time. When we were kids, it was something different. But looking back as adults, can you tell me this is the epic, the epicness of movies? No, no, no. Or as shows. You can say at least they spent a bit more money on it than your average Power Ranger episode. But Turbo, a Power Ranger movie, on the other hand, looks just as shalicky and as the old Power Ranger. So basically, they just made an episode of Power Rangers. They just put two of them together and made a movie. They didn't really do nothing special. It was a money grab. It was a money grab, guys. And man, that property was hot at the time. Power Rangers was massive. So yeah, why wouldn't you do a money grab? All right. Oh, back to retro still. 1997. If you want to find a bad movie from the 1990s, you can't go wrong if you look for anything with Shaquille O'Neal's name above it. And still, he stars as an armored superhero based on the DC character who briefly replaced the Man of Steel in the comics. So, you know what? I'm not going to completely hate on this, and not because Back to Retro called me out. I was never a Power Rangers fan. Darn it. Damn it, Tank. Man. You know what? We should have put, what is it, Shazam? Well, no, what was the one with him? That was the other one. What was the one with Shaquille O'Neal, the real one? The Shazam is the Sinbad one, right? That doesn't exist, but people think it does. The Mandela effect. What was the genie one with Shaq? Because that one, yeah, Kazam. And the other one was, what was the one that people think is the Mandela effect? I don't know. But that's a real one. That maybe should have been on the list instead of Steel. I'll give that one to you, Back to Retro. I'll give you that one. Oh, I jumped ahead. You guys saw a sneak peek. Oh, watch out. Okay, guys, this I think hands down we can all agree on. It's Pat, the movie. Who remember? You could never, ever get away with this in today's society, guys. Shazam with, okay, so it was Kazam and Shazam with Sinbad. Okay, all right. But you know what movie shouldn't have ever existed is Pat, the movie. Who remembers this skit off of Saturday Night Live? And they turned it into a movie. It was, a person named Pat who could have been a man, could have been a woman, and the whole movie is trying to guess if Pat is a man or a woman. You could never do this now. Oh my God, you would get canceled upon freaking walking in. Oh my God. And off a Saturday Night Live bit too. Horrible. Speaking of horrible, what about Carrot Top in Chairman of the Board? I've never heard of this movie. One does not expect too much from a movie headlining by prop comic Carrot Top, but one gets even less that comes with Chairman of the Board. He plays a hapless investor who befriends a wealthy businessman who dies and leaves his company. Why wouldn't? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you freaking make a movie with Carrot where he inherits a business and chaos ensues? I just imagine like a hour and a half of prop comic. It's like, Carrot Top, we need these papers signed. Oh my God, let me get my pencil. Let me get an eraser. Like that's what I picture the whole movie being. uh, Blank Check. I actually remember this freaking movie. This is starring. Let's see. His hair looks like a bowl of noodles soaked in blood. Anything from Brendan Fraser that's not the Mummy. I don't know. He had some good ones. What about Skulls? Wasn't that one? But Brendan Fraser had some bad ones as well, man. So this is Brian something or other. I can't think of his name. He was the kid off of Family Ties, and he was the one they brought in because Michael J. Fox was getting a little older. The kids were getting a little older, so they thought they would freshen it up by bringing this kid in. And he ended up having a pretty. Hey, good morning, Jeremy. Good morning. Good morning. They have. They end up having. Oh, he ends up. It ran its course, Family Ties, and then they thought he was going to be a big star, which he probably could have been. But he did Blank Check, and that kind of screwed him off. Putting aside Blank Check's queasy, koozie romance between a kid and a grown adult woman, and let's be clear, it should not be put aside. You're still left with a movie about a jerk who the film surrounds with even bigger jerks in an attempt to make a sympathetic figure out of a greedy, swarmy main character who steals $1 million and then wastes it frivolously on junk. I forgot. Mac and Me. Oh, God, yes. Mac and Me should be on this list. Oh, Double Trouble, 1992. Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's funny. I did an interview with a guy who we were talking character actors, and I brought up the movie Menace to Society and how I noticed in the writing that you had your main character, Kane was his name, and he was a bad kid, by any means a bad guy. Like you put him by himself, he's a villain. But you put him next to a person like O-Dog, which is a supporting cast member, who's even worse, and you can get sympathy for Kane a little bit. And it's crazy how writing works. But with this, you have a jerk of a kid, and he decides so you put him with even jerkier people, so he doesn't seem like such a jerk. Oh my God. Well, if it worked, it worked. Oh, what else we got here, guys? Chairman of the board. We did Blank Check. Oh, and that one wants to get up there. All right, Ghost in the Darkness. For 45 minutes, this is a very boring movie about an Irish guy played by a sedated Val Kilmer. Failing to build a bridge in Africa because some man-eating lions, or rather some suggestive editing and very poor lion special effects, keep killing his workers. Then Michael Douglas shows up with a Southern fried accent and a big flowering mullet, and the movie gets a little more fun. So yeah, I remember this. I don't think it was that horrible of a movie. You're looking at what? You're looking at tigers. They kind of went the Jaws route about it. They didn't want to show the lion too much, but when they did, it sucked. But yeah, I remember it was somewhat of a hit. But what wasn't a hit whatsoever was Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. This had both Sylvester Stallone and I only know her name from Golden Girls, Estelle Getty. Only had Estelle Getty in it. Yeah, this was in 1992. Both, Sylvester Stallone was on fire. Golden Girls was on fire. So why not merged the two together in a movie. Sylvester Stallone made a Stalloon. Sylvester Stallone made a lot of bad movies in the 90s. I like Daylight. I thought Daylight was good. Judge Dredd and then The Specialist, just to name a few ones I can remember. But this one takes the cake. Hold on, stop it, or my mom will shoot. Wasn't great, but it shouldn't be on the list. Oh, it's Golden Girls meets Tango and Cash. Maybe Tango and Cash should have been on this list instead of this one. Hey, Tango. Hey, Cash. What are we going to do? We're going to go stop these bad guys, Tango. Okay, Cash. They love to say, hey, good morning, Rosie. Rosie the dog's up and at 'em this morning, guys. She's back to her, she's got on her schedule. She comes in here, instead of waking up with me, she comes in late. All right, guys. Mr. Nanny. I had no idea George Jefferson was in this. For a guy who spent a lot of time in front of the camera, Hulk Hogan was not very comfortable on film. Without his over-the-top wrestling persona to rely on, his oddly stiff in this Home Alone knockoff with Hogan out of work wrestler reluctantly. So yeah, this is when he was trying to be a straight up actor. If you were stoned. Yeah, he was trying to be a straight up actor. I remember, who remembers Three Ninjas at Mega Mountain, where he played like some kind of villain, right? He was kind of off of wrestling. This was right after the steroid scandal took place. So yeah, he was doing some stinkers at this point. Let's see what, back to retro. Didn't know if the Hogan would be this one or No Holds Barred. Was No Holds Barred in the 80s though? That might have been an 80. That's why maybe this didn't. Yeah, that was. Why have a normal Christmas when you could have a No Holds Barred Christmas? Ah! That's my Vince McMahon. Oh, okay. Don't forget, guys, any of you wrestling fans, I'm going to be going live on on Saturday for the first night of WrestleMania, and maybe I'll go live on the second night if enough people come out or people are enjoying it or whatever. I'm going to go live on YouTube for reactions, and I'll probably be broadcasting it on thedailydank.com. So everyone, if you're not watching it on Peacock, come on over on thedailydank.com and watch it with me. We have some fun. Yeah, No Holds Barred. Yeah, that was a bad movie though. That was so bad. I must have been really stoned during the 90s. No clue on some of these. Oh. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Let's get this clear. This is number 3, guys. And the reason this made the list is plain and simple. Time traveling Ninja Turtles. Go back to ancient samurai times, and no one seems to care. No one seems off put that there's these turtle mutants walking around in ancient China or Japan, wherever they were. And yeah. And didn't they switched voices for 3, I believe, too, right? Corey Feldman was a big voice of the Turtles, and I think he fell off in 3, and some other people did too. But yeah, that was that wasn't a good one, guys. Not by any stretch. Mad Dog Time. Now, I got to admit, this is one I'd never heard of. There were worse movies than Mad Dog Time, but not many, but some. But not sure there exists a weirder but badder movie than Mad Dog Time, which features a truly great cast. So you got Ellen Barkin, Jeff Goldberg, Bloom, Richard Dreyfuss, Diane Lane. So this was a great cast, man. How come I never heard of this movie? How come this movie, I'm sure that one I had to sit through. I loved Corey's Donatello. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Corey Feldman was great on those, and it took me a while to figure out that it was Mouth from Gremlins was now, or not Gremlins, or guess he technically was in Gremlins, but he was Mouth and Goonies. Um, but yeah, that was a great one. Should I be upset I'm not remembering these? I don't think anyone remembers that freaking last one we did. What is it, Mad Dog Time? I don't think anyone remembers that. Oh, yes. Wild Wild West. Just making it under the time limit, guys. 1999. If you want to get a sense of what's going on in Hollywood in the last 25 years, you won't find much finer exemplar than Wild Wild West, which took some barely remembered source material and turned it into a bloated blockbuster overloaded with enormous special effects. The whole thing was such a boondoggy that even its star Will Smith openly hates it. Well, I don't think Will Smith is can say much about anything. Um, Never Ending Story 2. Yeah. Man, when they make sequels to some of these, you're like, oh. Um, but yeah, the great. So there's a story about Wild Wild West is in this. Sit on it, Dank. This movie is great just for the soundtrack. So there's a great story that Kevin Smith talks about when he was making. He was tasked with writing a new Superman movie. This was back in the 90s. He's a big comic book guy. They went to him and they're like, hey, and this was going to be the one with Nicolas Cage. I don't know if you guys know the lore about this, but Nicolas Cage was pegged to play Superman in a film that ended up not getting made. It's a very historic, a lot of lore behind that. But Kevin Smith talks about meeting a producer. Did you know there was only one scene in the first Never Ending that was filmed in the U.S.? Really? I never knew that. I did not have a clue. So he went to go meet the producer, director, writer, who actually was Barbara Streisand's hairdresser that became a producer. And as Kevin Smith goes to talk to him about the movie, he starts bringing up spiders. And did you know spiders are the most venomous, blah, 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 blah. If they were your size, they could kill you. And I guess he was watching a lot of Animal Planet. So anyway, Superman doesn't get made. They both move on and do their thing. Well, he ends up producing Wild Wild West. And what's all over Wild Wild West? Spiders. They have mechanical spiders everywhere. And you could thank Barbara Streisand's hairdresser for that, guys. Just a little did you know fact there. Oh, man. The Jerky Boys, the movie. Who remembers the Jerky Boys? I love the Jerky Boys. Look, I listened to my fair share of Jerky Boys tapes as a kid, and I laughed my fair number of times at them too. Probably way more than I should have. But even as a Jerky Boys fan, I hated the Jerky Boys movie, in which two boys basically play themselves, but in a weird way. So it's like they're average Joes going to work their construction jobs or whatever it was. And then they start making prank phone calls and they come up with these characters that have already been prank phone calls. It's like really shoehorned in. Like they really squeezed it in. And I love the Jerky Boys. Actually, on vacation a few years back, on our way back, I had turned it on for the kids, and my kids were like, "What is this madness?" But yeah, the Jerky Boys, man. Movie, not so good. Jerky Boys in general, pretty good. All right, 1998, guys, was the year of Jerry Springer Ringmaster. What the hell happened here? Yeah, so this was under the same vein as trying to do like Howard Stern Private Parts. Um, that movie was a massive hit, massive, and and it got critically acclaimed because it was done right. So entered Jerry Springer, the poor man's Howard Stern. And he thought he would do a movie. I'm sure it was a money grab. It was super white hot popular. I mean, yeah, Jerry Springer was white hot at the time. So why not make a movie about the Jerry Springer show? Dying young. Oh, shouldn't have put this on the list, guys. This one, oh, so Julia Roberts spent most of the early '90s um, trying and failing to find ways to repeat the success of Pretty Woman. The worst of these knockoffs is Dying Young, a Joel Schumacher joint with Roberts as yet another ordinary girl who fixes a wealthy but broken dying man. Um, yeah, you go to the well. You go to the well. Junior 1994 pregnant Arnold. Oh, Junior. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Earthquake happening, guys. Earthquake. Um, I was like, 90 Junior. What? Arnold Jr. was pregnant in 94? No, that was a good one. Twins. I love Twins. That's a great movie. Junior. I don't remember that. Maybe that should have made the list. Junior. All right. So yeah, Dying Young. They went back to the well, tried to do that bit. I remember my mom crying during this movie, so there might be something more to it than being, oh, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, guys. 1993. I can tell you the time and the place I was when I saw this movie. I was in Bullhead City, Arizona, at the movie house over on Hancock, which is now a church. And I smoked marijuana for the first time before seeing this movie. And we drank a partial, we split a 40, me and my friend. And we went into the theater and I passed out because the movie didn't get didn't have the storyline to keep me engaged, guys. Forget about Jason Voorhees, the antisocial lunatic in a hockey mask who loves to hack up horny campers. In Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, Jason gets reimagined as a parasitic worm that possesses people and turns them into homicidal maniacs. So yeah, BB smokes the good stuff. If Mario Brothers is not on this list, I will riot. It is the worst ever. So on that note, back to retro. I think I told it. I got in on that. I ended up being the Pee Wee's Big Adventure box. It was the Grail box from OC Celebrity Marketing. It was a pricey box. There's only so many of them. They hyped it up. I had to get in. I was a little tipsy on New Year's, so I ended up getting the box. And I was watching the unboxing from them. I couldn't wait to get it. I had to see what was in it, so they went on Whatnot and opened one. So I was watching it, and they pull out a John Leguizamo mini poster from Super Mario Brothers, and so I knew ahead of time that it was going to be a cast sign piece. That's all they told you. And I saw that thing, and I looked back, and I'm like, I swear to fucking God, if it's a Super Mario Brother cast sign piece from the 90s, I'm going to lose it. For what I paid for this box and how they hyped it. Oh, man. Back to retro, Super Mario Brothers is not on this list, but don't riot, sir. Don't riot. It should be. I'm going to give it the honorary number 1. Oh. Spawn. Now, I know Back to Retro's already typing. I know it. He's already if you like unboxing. Yeah, if you like I haven't even gotten my boxes yet, Back to Retro. I'm hoping to get some by Friday so I can do my unboxings. He always gets his a few days before me, probably because he's in Texas. But this Spawn movie, and I know he's already typing. He's like, "What Spawn?" This movie sucked. I love the comic. I love the premise. I love the idea. I like Michael Gill, whatever his name is. I like John Leguizamo. I like everything that this could have been, but it was poorly written. It was poorly shot. Oh, all right. We can finally meet on level ground back to retro. Yeah, it was a bad movie, man. It just wasn't put together very well. And and I get it. Like maybe the subject matter was a little too like for mainstream, and they didn't want to dive deep into what it actually is and what actually Spawn is. I kind of get it, but at the same time, maybe just don't. If you're not going to do it justice, maybe just don't make it. I don't know. What about the Scarlet Letter? The Scarlet Letter marked the last gasp, or perhaps sigh, in a more appropriate form in this context, of the erotic thriller boom of the 1980s and early 90s. Hollywood cranked out a ton of sexy dramas for adults in the years after Fatal Attraction. But as the 90s progressed, these movies just weren't quite as big, didn't quite make the splash as they once did. You know what was really bad, and you knew, and actually this probably, I've never seen it, so I can't really judge it. But speaking of these weird romance dramas of the 80s and 90s, what about The Last Temptation of Christ? That was another one that threw like a weird um, love scene with Jesus. Like I don't know. Jesus had a love interest. Oh, what about? Okay, guys, now read this whole title: The Blues Brothers 2000. All right, let's say that first. Any actor would have a tough time filling John Belushi's shoes, but I'm sure in the best solution for replacing him as Jake Blues in the Blues Brothers was to give Elwood a cloning kid sidekick. Supposedly, director John Landis wanted Macaulay Culkin for the role, but it didn't work out. At which point, they should have just cut the whole subplot entirely. Yeah, so the music was good. The idea was good. Again, you're basing it off of a Saturday Night Live. And I mean, how can you replace John Belushi, man? That was a freaking iconic role. He's just an iconic character. There's no way you're replacing that guy. The charismaticness, is that a word? That he brought to that role is by far like, yeah, it's just that. That's it, man. Great role by him. There's no way you're filling those shoes. I often have said that number one should be My Favorite Martian. Oh my God, I forgot they remade that into a movie. Completely forgot that. Completely. That's crazy. Yeah, that should be on the list. North. I vaguely remember this. One of the decade's most notorious flops, North, earned more than the famous paragraph of Robert Ebert's 30-plus career reviewing movies. I hated this movie. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Hated this movie. Hated it. Hated every simply stupid frame of this movie. Wow, that's a professional reviewer's opinion. I don't really buy. I'm not like a reviewer guy, but man, someone who's been in the industry, that charisma, or charismaness, Oh man, yeah. So that movie, I think what is it, Bruce Willis? Um, yeah, that movie. I never had seen it. That's your. So guys, honorable mention here is Back to Retro is right. I won't say that too often. I won't say that too often, guys. The Mario Brothers probably should be number one, especially the hype behind it. And speaking of Mario Brothers, a few boxes ago, Back to Retro Review opened up BAM box. It had some Super Mario Brothers stuff in it. So if you guys want to watch some cool unboxing before I get a chance to unbox our stuff, check out Back to Retro because Texas takes care of one another. No, he lives in Texas and they ship out of Texas, so he gets his a few days before me. And I always hate it because I want to watch them because I want to know what's in the box. I'm like a freaking kid. I need to know what's in the box. What's in the box? And it's up and I see it. I'm like, well, if I wait 3 days, I can be surprised. I never wait 3 days. I jump in there. Man, there's a John Wick prop in the Geek box that is fire, guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to get that one from me for a giveaway. Yeah, I won't. I won't tell. No spoilers on here. If you want to be spoiled, jump over on Back to Retro Review and check out. He does 3 boxes. He does the BAM Geek, the BAM Horror, and the BAM Anime. I don't do the anime, guys, so make sure you're checking that out. And hey, get spoiled. Get spoiled a little bit. Check out his reviews. They're excellent. And he gets right to the point. He doesn't beat around the bush like me and just. He gets right to the point and unboxes them. It's a good show, guys. And he has all the inside knowledge of BAMs, the inner workings, how the gears go together. So he has his fingers on the pulse, and if different stuff, he'll be able to tell you who the artist is on the lithographs and stuff, and he probably met them before. Like, yeah. Great educated show over there. Check it out, guys. All right, so that was your list of the worst movies from the 90s. Honorary mention number 1, Mario Brothers. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, man. We're creeping in on that hour mark again. I think that's just the new normal. Make sure you're checking out the 710 show, guys. It's a good one. All right, this is the 710 show. The 420 show, guys. We had a good one yesterday on Weed Wednesday. We talked about working out. Does it benefit you? What are the benefits? A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of great content. Make sure you're getting in on these giveaways, guys. Make sure you're getting in on them. Hashtag the Daily Dank for the big one. The Chucky, the Chucky Bride of Chucky autograph. The Chucky Body Knocker, the amulet. There's a Daily Dank shirt. There's stickers. There's an autograph from the movie 31 by Rob Zombie. There's a bunch of stuff in there. And then the Stranger Things art print, guys. Make sure that you're holding it up so I can see it. No, make sure you get in on that too. Oh, did I lose the camera? Oh, lost the camera for a minute. All right. Yeah, so make sure you're getting in on that, guys. A lot of good stuff. July. April's coming, guys. We got a couple Cheech and Chong giveaways we're doing for 420, guys. Talking to Teresa Deller, talking to Jeremy. Jeremy is awesome, donating a couple things for it. Very, very cool. I think we might do one grand prize, like a big Easter basket style for adults with a bong, an autograph from Cheech and Chong, shirt, stickers, a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go around to different businesses, see, and there'll be some goodies in there, if you guys know what I mean. Maybe we'll do one big grand prize for 420, and then we'll have a bunch of little smaller prizes, but there'll be 2 Cheech and Chong autographs that we'll be giving away on 420, guys. A lot of stuff. I'm getting it together, guys. So make sure you're paying attention for that. A lot of stuff's going to be dropping very, very soon. So big giveaways. We're going to do a meetup. We were talking about it for the 420 guys, 420 Olympics. If anyone's interested, I think we're going to do it at my studio in Golden Valley because we have a lot of space. We will carpool. Anyone who needs a ride, we will be carpooling. We will make sure that you're set up, that you can come out there and you get back. We'll do a DD type of thing. I don't know how that will work. But yeah, so we're going to do that meetup, guys, and we're going to do it before 420. So maybe the weekend before 420. That way, I'm going to tell you why. So I have time to edit it post it and we can air it on 420 so everyone can enjoy it, guys. So that's kind of the idea now. I will hit you guys with dates and times and everything. We're going to try to arrange it so everyone can be part of it. We're going to have games. We're going to have madness. If you guys haven't been out to the studio yet, it's a good time, man. Got animatronics. It's like a fun house in there, guys. We're going to be having a good time. Hopefully filming a pilot for a TV show, maybe several of them while we're out there. So if you guys want to be involved, make sure you're paying attention the next couple of days. Probably on Monday, we'll have all the information lined out on that, guys. All right, Rosie's sitting here telling me it's time for her to go out. So we got to take care of business. Producer Rosie. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Get in on these giveaways. Get in on everything, guys. It's going to be a great April. Great 420. Great month. Great year. Great everything, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. And I will catch you on 420. It's True Crime Thursday. And we got a doozy for you guys. You're not going to want to miss it. All right. We will see you at 410.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can.